Thanks for stopping by Hodge Podge Australia again to see what we're making today. As you can see from the title, we're doing beef taco pastries, which is a little bit of a mix, but my kids will eat anything that's wrapped in puff pastry, and sometimes when I'm trying to get them to eat something healthy, it's the only way I can do it. We're going to start by putting the mince, which is just premium mince, into the bowl. We're going to add, it's a taco spice that I've got from Your Inspiration Parties. It's all natural ingredients, dehydrated. Really tasty. But you can come up with your own spices, however you like to make tacos. Just add it into the mince and mix it all through. I'm making this very basic because, as I said, it's for my kids. I add a little bit of flour. Originally when I made this, I was making them into burgers. I made taco burgers, but it was so good that you can just eat the mince on its own. So I don't even bother to form it into burgers anymore, but that's probably where the flour came from originally. I'll then add in some barbecue sauce because my kids go crazy for barbecue. Adds the wet that you need to the meat, and then give it all another mix through. Once you're happy with all the ingredients being mixed through your meat and it's all looking nicely combined and nice and wet, you definitely want it to be wet, you don't want it to dry out too much in the cooking process. It's then time to turn to your saucepan. Adding in a little bit of butter, and I also put in olive oil, which is a tip that I learnt from Gordon Ramsay years ago after watching his show, that it stops, or at least helps to prevent the butter from burning in the bottom of your pan when you want to use a nice hot pan. So just putting in a little bit of a splash. You just need probably 50-50 is the way I do it with my butter and my oil when I'm just greasing the bottom of the pan. Adding in the mince, you can just shove it all in there and break it up while you stir it around. It's going to make a nice big sizzle as long as you've got the hot pan going. I like to really get in there and give it a really good break up with the spoon. You want it all to be nice thin pieces when you're eating it. You don't want to be chewing into big chunks of the meat when it's inside the pastry. So just pushing it apart with the spoon, getting it all lovely and golden brown. Once you've got it to this consistency, you can turn the heat off and you can get ready to put it all in your pastries. I'm using this great new thing that I've been dying to try out, which is a snap pie. They've been on TV. I don't know if this is called something else on TV. I bought a cheapy one from the cheap shop, but I was dying to give it a try. So I've defrosted my puff pastry, store-bought. I don't make my own. It looks far too complicated. I'm going to give it a really good grease because I haven't used it before, and if it gets stuck, I will get frustrated. So we're going to put the first piece of puff pastry on the bottom. Going to cover all the sections, and then you're just going to gently push the puff pastry down into each individual pie section. I found when pushing my pastry down it helped to hold one end and stretch it out just so that it didn't end up bunching into the middle of the pie case. Once you're happy with all your pie coverage with the pastry, you can then add the filling. The great thing I really liked, and the reason why I bought this pie case, is that if you want, you can put a completely different filling in each section because you're going to cut it all off at the end. So I've gone with the beef tacos, again, very simple, some melted cheese, and that's it for my kids. They're not adventurous at all. Once you've got the filling in, again, you can do any filling you want. So you could put tacos in one, you could put eggs in another, although I'm not really sure why you'd do eggs. That's a weird example. However, once you're happy with your fillings, put another piece of puff pastry over the top, and then you're just going to want to press down in between the sections to cover the grooves, or expose the grooves as it were. Gosh, speaking properly today, Erin, would be great, because this is where you're going to cut. So grab the little cutter that's also included, and you're going to slice off the excess pastry on the outside, and then you're going to separate each of the pie cases, and they're all going to be joined, so you don't need to worry about leakage. I did also read though that you should prick it with a fork before you pop it in the oven. I did forget to do this step, but I didn't overfill mine so they didn't burst. However, next time I do it, I will prick them with a fork. Once you've got all the pastry cut off, you can give them a glaze. Yes, very nice, Erin, well done. Glaze them with some milk or egg wash, whatever you'd like to use. Give them a quick brush, and then it's time to pop them in the oven. I had my oven set to 180 and I cooked them for about 20 minutes. That's degrees. So if you're doing Fahrenheit, you're going to want to increase that. Once I popped them out, they were lovely and crunchy on the top, lovely and crunchy on the bottom, and all individually separated. I've served them up for my kids, 1 pastry each. The other 4 I let them cool, and then I put them away in the fridge, and they had them for lunches the next day. I've already been asked to do them again, and there's only been a couple of days in between. Thanks again for watching another Hodge Podge Australia YouTube video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and then you'll be kept up to date on when new videos have been uploaded.